have spent quite a bit of time together in the creative cave. You know what's better? Maybe better or worse, but you know what's better than one grizzly bear in a cave? 3 grizzly bears in a cave.
Stoking coals and fanning flames.
No, I honestly don't feel. I feel like we had a great time. Oh, I had a great time.
Yeah, we went away to work on the 3rd album. Fourth album. Ooh, careful, Dan. The 4th album.
You're losing count.
SOS. Cry for Help. Subtly, overtly sacred. Album. Number 4. How many songs are we working on?
Are we working on?
Do we have slotted for this one? Is it like 15, 14?
I mean, we have kind of 15 in the chamber right now. That doesn't mean that there'll be 15 on the record.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean if there were 15, it'd be those 15. I mean, there's still.
Because there's 25 other songs.
I don't know. Yeah, or the what goes with the flow? What are we feeling? I guess.
It can be a bit like camping, like packing up all your camping gear and you're like looking forward, but then you're out in the woods and you have to build a campsite and you have to build the fire and you've got to prepare everything. The food takes longer to prepare, and what you would normally just get up from the couch and walk to the restroom, you've got to walk way farther to find the campsite restroom or whatever. It's just everything is a bit more intense, and I guess it can feel like that when you're just kind of locked in a space for a while, writing and deciding, and do you like this, you like that, you kind of come out feeling like you hiked a mountain maybe.
Yeah. I do think it's amazing that we still have never fought. I mean, we aggressively agree.
Yeah.
A ton.
I love that.
No fighting.
For you. I wonder why.
I don't know. Well, I think I do, but
okay.
I think I do. So I'll start that. That's a good thing. Mutual respect. Going across the board. In every direction for the 3 of us.
You think that was given or earned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not given foolishly, but
given, yeah.
Given, and it wasn't broken. I mean, the trust is. I think it's given. I mean, is it earned? I mean, you give.
Is that even? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to trust somebody. I'm not taking. I'm not. It's not like I'm not going to trust you until you prove yourself. I'm going to trust you, but or not trust, but the respect. That's what I said. Respect.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there was probably some respect going into this, like going into what we were doing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I do agree with that. I mean, I do respect you guys, and as far as, yeah, I don't think I'm the factor in the group. I don't think I'm the factor. Like, you know what I mean? So like my respect goes this way before it goes this way. I respect myself and I appreciate myself, and I'm confident in what I might feel or think or what I know I can do, but that doesn't amount to much when you're in a band. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's all about pointing everything this way, you guys better be on board with that, or it's going to be a nightmare for me. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to put it this way first, and you guys give it back, and so.
One thing, the more we work with each other, the more we see what we're good at, and not only then respecting and trusting that in the other person, but also like encouraging that and pushing for more and being like, no, I've seen you do this. I've seen this. And what could that be? And, I mean, I have fun because I'm learning so much all the time. I listen into you two talk because the speed that you go with on music, you're not teaching me. I mean, it's not like a class.
Yeah, it's not intentional. Yeah, it's just happening.
But I'm listening to everything you're saying.
And you are learning it. Like your vocabulary has expanded dramatically. I mean, the same way I've learned from you, and and we could go on a whole nother trail there, but I've learned things from watching you about in different areas and have picked up on things and my vocabulary has expanded and changed in other ways. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen even you and I, like I think it was last night, talking about the tag, and he's like, he knew right away what the tag was.
Yeah.
Where before you might be like, excuse me, tag, define that. I was like, yep. He knew where we were going with it, So time spent, maybe?
Part of it. But, I mean, even that would be a respect thing as opposed to trying to fit in and pretend.
Right.
To be able to ask questions and not be irritating with that. Like people will, oh, it's this,
For me, my respect for you guys comes out in like wanting to serve these lyrics well. So for me, it's a learning opportunity of like how am I able to communicate well? You know what I mean? Like lyrically, I can sit with these lyrics and read them 100 times and pick out different nuggets that are just like resonate or that are just like really profound or like, wow, that was so well said here and ties into what's said here. And I that's not the kind of work people do when they're looking or listening to music, but like when you're creating and you're chewing on this and you want to communicate well, I enjoy the lyrics and the way that communicates well, which then is inspiring and motivational and stirs up creativity on how to communicate it well musically, Mm-hmm. And my respect for you, Lucas, comes out in like we're not going to start something and not finish it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're good at that. Better than I am in a lot of ways in some regards, just like, because it's easy to start something mm-hmm. and then not know what to do with it, or you hit a roadblock or a writer's block, or you get bored with it or whatever. But you're like, nah, man. we gotta
finish, man.
We gotta double down on this.
I learned that early. And
so it's cool. It's like, yeah. Let's boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that there's and even seeing you work, like sometimes I'd be like, oh, I don't know, but you're like clicking away and you're in. I'm like, all right, I'm on board with that for sure.
like a Gatorade shot.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
But to the flip side of that, my respect for you, Dan, comes in. Bo is actually a big. I wouldn't say big, but let's just say you're a factor in that. Because, like the thing that I want to do, I don't do. The things I don't do, I want to, I find that battle there. I want what's in you to come out, but I move too fast for you 9 times out of 10. And that's not about you. That's about me.
Yeah.
I'm just a fast mover. And I'm like, I could spit out 5 versions of a song and just keep moving. But where you come in and kind of help navigate that is slow that down, and then it kind of creates space for you to be able to come up with something. Because I'm telling you, like, I don't even know if I can say 9 out of 10. It might even be 10 out of 10 times that you've started to bring something to the table. It's like, I'm in on it, and then it's going to get finished. We're going to finish it. We're going to all work on it. And I think we even saw that even yesterday where we spent 7 hours on one song, but it was like I had 4 versions or 3 versions or whatever, 2 versions of the song, and we went a whole nother direction, and we sat together and we all played and flushed it out, and it's just like building this thing in real time,
Mm-hmm. Which was it was funny, like when we finished that, mm-hmm. and we're really settled on, I think, arrangement and. There's still some work to do, but I mean, like going, okay, this is it. It was like, well, we took a long time on that one, and we had that moment where like, yeah, we went from nothing to the whole thing in 7 hours.
Yeah,
and it was like, well, we spent like a third of our day
And I was like, yes, because it's like my speed is rubbed off on you guys a little bit. How long do people take to work on songs, right? It could be like a month, on one song.
Jeez. Yeah, so the fact that in that specific song that took 7 hours was like idea generated in the moments together, where some may come earlier or upstream or what have you. This was like boom there, and you could tell when the three of us are on board with it and can envision it.
It's a different sound.
And we can envision more of it than maybe the idea generation of another song, and we make more progress, or more productive, or it flows more, and
Well, the three of us were fully engaged.
Yeah.
For 7 hours. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this is boring, or I'm going to go do something else, or we were in on what we were working on together.
Yeah.
And when we say 7 hours, we mean 7 hours. We're not like, like we worked for 10 minutes and then we took a 20-minute break. It's like one of us or all three of us or two of us, we're actively engaged. We're all in the same space.
If we weren't playing or writing, we were listening and
talking about
making notes, and then, let's try this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's once that train's out the station, like you don't want to stop it. You need that momentum to keep going.
You got to be there.
You have a one-track mind. Anything else could interrupt that. It's almost
correct.
Like silence my phone. I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, yes. Like, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of writing a song, but it's also like little tiny things that are said, or things that we're willing to. I almost feel like when any one of us has a thought about the song, we're willing to listen to, willing to go down that road, and then we're all willing to look at each other and go, "That doesn't work. Let's go back." And so we've talked about this before. We're just coming kind of fresh out of it, but there's like that power of agreement too, which is important, because you can agree while you disagree. I think, meaning, I can defer at times to things that I may not. It may not be my suggestion, but I'm understanding, like, yes, this is good for what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I think if any one of us kind of goes, I'm not sure I like something, we stop. Or let's change it. Let's figure that out. It's almost like a veto. That would be the respect and some of the trust, but like there's a veto, and so because of that, I don't have any, like, I'm willing to say, hey, look, what does this sound like? What could that be? I'm more willing to take risk, and because it's not really a risk. It's like, okay, now I know. Mm-hmm. But that could be an idea for another song.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, to even get deeper into the minutia of what we're saying, we're on the song, we're 7 hours in, maybe we're 6 hours in. Bo, you're like, turn the drums off. I don't want to hear.
Can you mute the drum track? I said that. Yeah. I feel like I said
You did. Yeah. You said, can you mute the drum track? I said,
can you mute the drum track?
Yes, sir. So we mute the drum track. We listen to the entire song without the drum track. You guys start talking about it. I pull up a different drum thing that sounded different, but was still a drum. Play it. Now it was like, it's not that it doesn't need a drum track. It was like that drum track was affecting the way I was hearing it. And then it was like, okay, let's cut the drums out of this section of the song, bring them back here. So it took us in a whole other direction, So the song pivoted in a great way just from going, mute the drum track, let's take a listen to that. Mm-hmm. Or I heard one ooh, in like a vocal ooh, and we put a vocal ooh, and all of a sudden the next thing you know, Dan and I are stacking all these vocal oohs, and it's like, it's a huge part of the song.
And the song Breathe.
It all of a sudden became like one of the magical sounds in the song. The song starting with these oohs now, where it was just like a little note I heard that didn't, and then you putting electric tracks on it,
Yeah. I love that. I love like how that unfolded, because I remember sitting next to you at the table and Lucas is over there, and you're like, mute the drum track, and I'm just like, what are you thinking? Okay, I could see where you may be going.
And it was really important for me to hear the whole song.
Yeah.
Without drum. I wanted to hear you
wanted to hear where you missed them,
and you didn't stop.
No.
Like, you let it. I was like, thank you.
And then it was like, why was that enjoyable? And the other version was, and then so just the music the musical contribution from the lyricist was like really.
Well, yeah,
not a label, but just
Yeah.
but speaking into that and like shaping it, I was like, wow. And then was it the same song where we said, let's take that first line? You said we need to end the song with that first line again. Bring that first line to the closing.
Yep.
That was at like 7.5 hours.
It was like,
yeah. It's like,
One more
one
thing.
more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like we're all actively producing. It's nobody is producing. We're all producing. We're all bringing, ideas and thoughts and all these, suggestions. That we're just hearing the music and we're saying, cut this, put this, add this, and that's all producing. I may be the guy engineering, but collectively we're for sure producing together. Because we're all giving input as to what sounds. Hey, Dan, sing that line again, or you're singing something. So it's like we're all actively producing.
I found at one moment on one of the days there where it was like I was indecisive, but I felt like I was indecisive and could have just held on to that and deferred or just let it move on. But I was like, okay, no, like I have to work this out loud, which is not something I enjoy doing. I don't enjoy,
There was gonna be some
word
conflict.
vomiting about indecision and then trying to understand what I'm even feeling in order to. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna speak, and I don't know if what's gonna come of that, but so that to me was like a personal win, personal challenge kind of thing. Not that I haven't done that before, but just like in that moment was like, okay, I see something or I'm hearing something or I'm not hearing something. I don't know what to do with it. I can fold my hands and just like, or push it aside and come back to it later. And it was like, oh no.
Which
What
song
are
was
you?
this?
What are you thinking about? I'm like, it's kind of how it came out, and we worked through that.
What was the context of that?
Do you remember which one I'm talking about?
Was
it
it
was the one where it was like, oh, there was 5 different sections, or there was 4 different sections.
Oh.
And then it was,
Reluctantly.
we got to take this section out. Can we go from this to this and then bring this here and do this? Can we get rid? And
Was it reluctantly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had.
so I was reluctantly
No, that was
speaking in the.
Well, that wasn't the
indecision.
name of the song when we started.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't the name of.
Prayers of a Reluctant Saint was the title of what you wrote, and that had been around for some time. And then I did some demo of it, just the way it was written. And then we listened to it, and it was like there's something there, And then you guys really just had a discourse for some time. I remember saying I was just saying out of it, doing my own thing, and then you guys were really kind of tackling like what that meant and how to reshape it.
Yeah,
I never would have had that conversation, by the way, because I didn't see it that way. So you seeing it that way was super helpful.
But
to
I
where
didn't
it
know how I
landed.
was seeing it, and you know what it's like when you're indecisive, and then you could be asked like, "Well, what are you thinking?" or well, "What do you hear?" Or, "What is it?" And you're like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I just know
you feel something.
I
Yeah,
feel, or I know what I don't know, but
Well, in this case, the lyric was out of order.
yeah.
It was there on the page, but there was a new order and a new arrangement of the lyrics that were on the page
Yeah.
that then crafted the song and worked much better for that. So it was a
and
matter
the
of
song,
being-
the original demo, which when I say demo, I mean like some demos can literally just get polished up and become album songs. It's not like not all demos are just recorded on a voice memo. This was a more fleshed out demo, drums and all these different instruments. And with the conversation and the arrangement and all of that and being together in the space, it ends up going down to a piano and 2 vocals, which is like so much more impactful and emotional and connective for me than even the band thing. But so I'm excited for people to hear that. And you guys obviously pushing me into a different space, which is great too. Like, because I need that direction as well. Like, I think everybody, can benefit from that. Like some production is what I'm saying. Like somebody produces you, says, "Hey, why don't you try to sing it like this?" Or try, because sometimes you just get in your comfort zone and it's like, well, this is how I sing it. This is how I do it.
Well, there was a funny moment.
What was the moment?
Because we're almost stacked in the way we're sitting in this room, like almost in a lot. Like you're at the computer, the module, and Dan is either on the couch where he's doing vocals or guitars, or front seat at the table, and then I kind of perched up in the back, So I'm watching you two, where Dan was like, the vocal needs a little bit more of a punk rock feel. And you go, I don't know what that means. I've never listened to punk rock. And Dan like gives you an example, and you're like, and he's like, you can do it. It will sound really good with your voice. And I'm watching, and you're like, okay, because you'll try anything,
Yeah.
And you have the microphone, and you're like, I'm not punk rock. And Dan sings like
Shows me how to do it.
Shows you how to do it, and then you did it with him, and I go, why don't you guys do that together? And instead of recording vocals separately, you just recorded together, and it sounded so cool. Like it was just fun. I was like, oh, that was neat. Like this whole.
We ended up doing like three or four passes with just me playing the piano and us two singing together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it captured
Usually
a
goes well.
different feel
Yeah.
on a recording. I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. You guys bringing it
And
back to raw.
That speaks to you too, though. I mean, like you said, the song that we're talking about right now is one that you added not only melody and stuff to, but a lot of musical arrangement to it. It was more fleshed out, almost in a demo feel,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
like, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of thought, there's you've already started building an idea, and then for it to be like, oh, change this, do this, and get rid of all of that music that you did.
I love to do that.
But not every producer would do that. The ego's a little big on the
Yes,
on the
yes, no,
producer
but
side
that's why.
of
That's why I
people.
love to do that.
Right on.
Because it goes ink. It goes like and then I'm like, I like that. Like
Cool.
just pinch me.
Pain.
Wake me up. Because it's like you could. Because why? Because I can do my own thing, but that's not what this is. So it's like I don't want to ever get so far off the beaten path that it's like we're sending out bird calls, trying to figure out where we are.
So overcommitted, like you've said before.
Yeah.
Like there's no sacred cows here. That's the way Lucas would say it.
No sacred
But,
cows.
yeah, and then once we got it to that version, the piano and the voices, it was just like a very easy, natural acknowledgement of like, oh yeah, this can take on different feels. You could speed this up. You could do this, and just.
But then you guys, it's I guess it's the law of opposites, because you guys will surprise me, and I say you guys because sometimes it might come from you and it might come from Dan, but eventually I think you guys are agreeing, and then it's like, okay, I've been outvoted, and so I'm already in on it, but I still need to be outvoted. Fix Me, which was a song that we have, and I've demoed it several ways. And it went from Fix Me, and then we toyed around with changing it to Fix Us, and then ultimately you've landed back on, no, we're going to go back to Fix Me. And so I did this demo of like piano vocal, and it's like reluctantly, here's this beautiful piano vocal, and then it's like, Dan's like, this thing needs to get like, it needs a beat, it needs a, so here I am giving the piano vocal, and then you guys are going like, yeah, let's build that up.
I think this needs to be more EDM.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
we need a beat, we need a vibe on.
So it's like,
I want 100 different sounds.
I want
on
100
it.
different.
right, it's just like the law of opposites. Like I do that on Reluctantly, and we're like, nope, stripping this down to piano and vocal.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, what is the matter with you?
We're gonna need more cowbell. We're gonna need more. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of I don't know why I'm thinking this, and I look at you, Bo, because I know that you know the story too. You probably do as well.
Maybe.
Where Rick Rubin is working with Tom Petty, and tells Tom Petty, he's like, I need this number of songs done on my desk, kind of thing, and he gets this work of multiple songs that they had worked on to meet Rick's deadline or whatever, and then he listens to the whole thing, and he says, the only thing I like on this album is this one little guitar thing you did right here.
Yeah. I don't know the story,
Do you know
but
what I'm talking about?
I don't know the story.
And he's like, I didn't like anything else except for this one little guitar piece, and then that little guitar piece becomes "Last Dance with Mary Jane." Right? Is that the right?
I think so.
I don't know the story, but I
It
know
just- it
I've
just
lived
thinks of,
that
like,
story.
Man, we can work on something and be so committed,
Yep.
you know. And I think that that's something that we kind of like as creatives in a twisted way is that we're never really done. And so
Is
like
that
you
one
could,
like the Wallflower record? Is that? Am I got that right?
no, I don't no, I
Wall-
don't think it was no, it wasn't a Wallflower record. It was
The one that Rick Rubin produced.
Yeah.
Okay, which we'll go to Zach. Zach, which
I just
record
remember
did
that riff
Rubin
ended
produce?
up being the Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Oh, yeah,
One more
I know that
time
song.
to kill the pain. The way that song begins. Bing, ding, ding, it's like that was.
I know that song.
But just thinking of like as a songwriter and working on all
Yes,
these things.
yes.
And then there was a little gem in there, but
Yep. Oh no, I mean, I don't know that story, but I've lived that story. Wallflowers.
Wildflowers.
Wildflowers.
Is the one that Rick Rubin did.
oh, I think
But
you said Wallflowers. I was like,
I
oh, that's
did.
the
It was
band
the-
of Dylan song. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the wrong. But then Last Dance with Mary Jane wasn't that? That was not on that. That was on a Heartbreakers record.
But written by Petty.
Yeah, with Tom Petty and the Heartbreak. Yeah.
Oh,
his
okay.
band. His band.
Added to the 93 greatest hits compilation.
Yeah, to the Heartbreakers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it did come from that story. Yeah,
Right.
I remember. Yeah. Sorry. That,
No, that's, yeah. I was just
Good
relating to it, but-
discography. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming up when I was younger, I had a production partner, and we used to write for this label, and that was what we had to do. We had to present 10 completed ideas. 10 completed ideas by the end of the week, each. So we would always go and have 10, have a CD with 10 songs on them, and they'd be fully completed. And it would be like, they'd listen for like sometimes 2 or 3 seconds, So it's like, it kind of toughens your skin a little bit, because it's just like, you're like, this is the one. Because you love it. You love it. And you put the work into it. So it's like 2 seconds, and it's like skip, and you're like, did the CD skip? And you're like, no, we're going to the next one. Okay, you just have to be stoic and just deal with it. And then it's like, you get to the end, like, and they don't say anything. And then they go to the next guy's CD, and they do the same thing. And then you're just like there, and they're like, track 4 on yours, I like the chorus, like the one line in that chorus only. And then track 6 on yours, we like that whole track.
Oh, I don't know if I can do if
That
you
was
do
weekly.
that over and over again. That's weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
You guys can't
feel
hurt
like
me.
that's every week with Lucas now.
yeah.
I can't get out.
I'm like, well,
I need to break that cycle. No more demos.
like the organ.
This is what happens when you give me work. It's just like, I gotta do 10.
Let's do it.
I gotta do 10 songs by the end of the week.